His MVP. That's one. Right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. Swing. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field, way back there. It's gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the 8th inning, an 8-1 ball game. Good guys on top, of course, and going for their second sweep in a row. Great time to be alive. Great time to be a Rangers fan, man. 6 in a row here. Oh, goodness. This is a great week of baseball for Texas fans. And look, you go into the Angels series. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves as Josh Smith serves a single into left field. I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but you look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You got deGrom on Monday. You got Evo on Wednesday. You got the ever-reliable Patrick Corbin on Tuesday. I'm feeling pretty good about the next few games of baseball, along with what I'm seeing today. And yes, it is good to see the Astros taking a 4-game series sweep. A's. And remember when they all told us to pipe down after we swept the A's? Remember that after Wednesday? We had the off day on Thursday. Every Astros fan telling us to pipe down. We beat a AAA team, right? That's what everybody was saying. How'd it go against the AAA team over the weekend? Yeah, Boston was looking like they were on the ropes, but I think LA kind of choked with some runners on. Boston, did that go final? I know that they were winning in that game. Did that officially go? I'll get MLB.com up, so that way I don't have to keep asking. Yeah, they won 4-3. No big deal, man. Hopefully we can get a Mariners L. It's all going to work itself out. It really will. So I'm not too worried. Can't get too upset. The Rangers are winning games. That's what they need to do. It's going to be all right. They are going to be just fine, regardless of what the teams are doing ahead of them. Yeah, it sure would be great to be in a playoff spot at the end of today, but 100% I'm going to take what we're getting right now, which is 6 games in a row. Love it. 2 sweeps and 8-1 homestand, 8-1. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We should win 2 out of 3. You should win 3 out of 3 against the Angels. Look, I'll set the bar at 2 out of 3. You've got deGrom. You've got Evo pitching in the Angels series. You got to win 2 out of 3. Sweep should definitely be in the cards, but you got to win 2 out of 3. We'll bring you the rest of this one. Corey Seager up to bat right now. We'll definitely make sure we hit up the comment section throughout here at Right on Rangers. We cover everything Texas sports, but we put a big emphasis on the Rangers during the MLB season, and we thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Corey Seager follows up Josh Smith's oppo single with one of his own. Seager sends one down the left field line. And the Rangers, little 2-out rally in the 8th inning here. Corey Seager, by the way, 26 games in a row. Is that where we're at? 26, 27 games in a row getting on base. Machine. Man is a machine. Good to see Seager getting on base a couple of times today. He continues his hot second half, scorching start to the second half after the All-Star break for Corey Seager. And they're going to sub out Seager for Ezekiel Duran. So Duran will get cleanup duty here in the bottom of the 8th and in the top of the 9th. Yeah, look, definitely, I hear the sentiment. Appreciate you tuning in, by the way. You guys always hear me say this, though. When it comes to baseball, baseball is a beautiful sport. Any team can beat any other given team on any day. That's how it goes with the sport. This isn't football. This isn't Alabama versus, some double A team. This is a sport where you can win against any team, even if they're better than you. That's what makes this sport fun. And so I say it all the time. Yeah, you definitely at some point need to be beating the teams that are worse than you and are not in as good of a position as you. But you cannot say by any means it's not impressive to sweep a team. It's hard to win 3 games in a row against anybody. It just is. You can say all you want, Braves aren't having a good year. Look at the A's. We swept the A's, and then they went and won 4 in a row on the road against Houston. So, look, nobody needs to be championing this sweep like it's the best thing in the entire world, but it's absolutely an accomplishment. It's not easy to sweep a team. Definitely not easy to win 4 games in a row over a team like our buddies for now up in Sacramento did against Houston down in Southeast Texas over the weekend. We keep going. I'll put this comment up here just for a laugh. I appreciate it. Baseball is all about luck, apparently, is the wise, sage advice for the day. All right. I appreciate the comic relief. I really do. Miguel, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. A's sweep the Astros. Edgar, yes, sir. Oh, shoot. Who's starting tomorrow? deGrom, Bo. deGrom's going tomorrow. T-Money, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Wyatt Langford's cooking today. Wyatt Langford, he had a rough outing yesterday. Let's just say that. 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. And then Wyatt had what might have been the game-losing play in the 9th inning, letting that ball get past him, which allowed the Braves to go up 5-4. Wyatt was the bad kind of goat yesterday there for a second. Cole Winn, by the way, is coming into pitch here. He's going to relieve Caleb Bosley. Bosley on the day gave you 2 innings, 0 earned runs. A lot of Bosley hate flying around after his last outing where he forced Robert Garcia into the game. I think that was on Friday night, right? A lot of hate for Caleb Bosley after Friday night's game. Glad that he came out here and pitched a little bit better today. Cole Winn, my boy, in the game right now. Love Cole Winn, man. Hope he does well. Hope he sticks around at the major league level this year. At this point, with rosters getting bigger, I don't see any reason. Rosters getting bigger, I guess, here in about a month or so, right? I don't see any reason for them to send him back down. I mean, maybe there's something crazy that happens. Who knows? But you would hope Cole Winn is here to stay. So we're going to finish out, hopefully, this ball game with Cole Winn on the bump. Right now, he's going to face Baldwin. And then after that, you're going to see Austin Riley, Harris, if anybody gets on, Sean Murphy. I know Sean Murphy, by the way, was thrown around a little bit as a potential trade chip, as a trade piece that the Rangers could go out and get. Wouldn't mind seeing Sean Murphy in Ranger red, white, and blue. I think he's going to be pretty expensive. We talked about Sean Murphy. He's under club control for a number of years still, so you're going to have to pay a pretty penny if you want Murph in the lineup. But look, he is definitely a guy I think you'd love to have. A right-handed bat, can play catcher. I know that we love, just as fans, right? We like Heim, we like Higgy, but we definitely cannot run away from the truth. There is upgrade potential at the catcher position. There definitely is. We'll see what the Rangers decide to do. Cole Winn's going to get his first strikeout of the afternoon. Looking good. My guy, Cole Winn. Nice little off-speed pitch on the outer half, and he's going to send Baldwin back to the bench. Austin Riley coming up next. 8-1 Rangers, top 9. Hayden, I really was hoping the Dodgers were going to be able to help us out with the Red Sox. Dodgers have been a fairly large disappointment out of the break. Clark, I'm with you, my guy. Any sweep is a big deal. I don't know if you're still hanging out, but any sweep, I agree, is a pretty big deal. We keep going. Winn could be a future closer. I don't know. Have they decided what they're going to do with Cole Winn? Feels like he's kind of vacillated a little bit between starting and relieving. I don't know if he is going to be a guy that just ends up out in the pen or if they ever try to make him a starter. We'll see what happens. You know, again, all these guys, most of these guys, it's pretty rare. Most of these guys start out as starting pitchers, right? And then eventually they make it to the bullpen. So I'm sure Cole Winn has it in the repertoire. You wonder what the Rangers' long-term plans for him are going to be. Dodgers have been ice cold since the break, unfortunately. deGrom tomorrow night, and Clark is right. It's going to be deGrom on Monday night. It's going to be Evo on Wednesday night. I believe Patrick Corbin throws on Tuesday night. So you're going to have deGrom, Corbs, and then you're going to have Evo to close it out. It should be a sweep. We'll set the bar at 2 out of 3. You'd really love to get a sweep of the Angels, be on a little 9-game win streak. Baseball's tough. If they drop a game in LA, you're not going to see me melt. But I will say you definitely could, and I would say you're probably favored to sweep the series with who you got pitching. Rangers clawing back, man. That division lead is looking thinner and thinner. The Astros were up like 9 or 10 games. I think I did kind of tell y'all, look, I'm not even worried about the division, and we know how it goes. The Mariners, last season, I believe the Mariners were up 10 games on the division at one point, and the Astros ended up winning. The Astros took the division last year. Mariners were up like 9 or 10 games. So for me, the division lead in July, early July, never really safe. You got 2.5+ months of baseball left at that point. I mean, the Astros 9-10 game lead was nice. You knew it wasn't going to last. And not that the Astros are going to be totally giving up the lead. Maybe they hit a hot streak and they end up maintaining. Maybe they keep going downward into a spiral. I don't think any Rangers would mind seeing that at all. This is going to be a gap shot. Not quite a home run, but a double for Harris. Man, Harris has torched Rangers pitching. Why do they keep throwing to this guy? Michael Harris has been torching Rangers pitching all weekend. I really don't know why they keep throwing to this man. I mean, Cole Winn, I know you're trying to just challenge hitters. You're up by 7 runs. I get it. But my goodness. Jock will start hitting. Jock, for me, definitely is going to, I think, turn it up a little bit in the second half. I don't think he can be as bad as he was in April and May. And I know he was coming around a little bit. It just sucks. You know, you would have loved for him to come out and have a big game today. Had the bases loaded opportunity. Struck out on 3 straight pitches. That was not a great welcome back for Jock. You know, he's gonna come around. I don't think he's going to be as bad as he was in April and May. It would be really hard to do that. But yes, Jock 0 for 4 today. For me, I was a little surprised. I don't know if any of you guys thought this when the lineup came out, but I was a little surprised to see Jock in the 5-hole. I thought maybe you'd go Josh Young 5-hole, maybe Jock 6, and then from there maybe you have Wyatt Langford 7, Evan Carter, Jonah Heim 8-9 in some kind of order like that. I was a little surprised they just threw Jock Peterson right back into a real prominent spot in the lineup. I know that the Rangers have shown pretty much over and over again that they're going to be loyal to the vets. And, of course, Jock Peterson, a lot of time in this league, you're paying him a lot of money. It's not that he shouldn't be hitting 5th for you, but I was just a little surprised. I thought maybe they would ease him back in. Maybe you'd see Josh Young get rewarded with his resurgence after coming back from AAA, being down there for about a week and a half. Sean Murphy up right now, by the way. 2 outs, runner on second. He's going to take ball 2, 2-2 count. Murphy 1 for 3 on the day with a double and an RBI. Again, Murphy has been talked about in some potential trades, not just with the Rangers, but in other situations as well for other teams. But he is going to strike out swinging here. Cole Winn gets 2 Ks. The Rangers win the series. They win their 6th game in a row. They are 8-1 now to finish out the homestand. Cue the I Like Texas music. Hello, win column. Rangers are going to get on a happy flight out to Southern California, where they will take on the Angels with their 2 aces scheduled to start in that series. Houston loses. We've got Angels and Mariners going on right now. We'll check out that score as the show goes on. It is a great day a beautiful day to be a Texas Rangers fan. And I'm glad that you're choosing Right On Rangers to hang out and celebrate this joyous occasion. So we will get to all of your comments and questions now that the game is over. We can fully lock in. We are going to have a couple of different topics we'll touch on. Naturally, you guys are probably going to unearth them anyways, but we will for sure have a couple of talking points for you. But during this time of the year, trade deadline approaching here in about 3 days, things are going to start heating up. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear where your head's at with this team. I don't know how anybody could still be negative about this squad after watching what you did over the past week, but I'm sure there's a couple of them out there. I don't put it past anybody. I'm sure there's a couple Rangers fans. Yeah, whatever. They're not going to, this is just lucky. They're not a really good offense, blah, blah, blah. You know that they're out there. They're out there. Sadly, I don't know how you can be a fan that way, but it's not what you're going to find from me. We'll call it out when it's bad, but when you win 6 games in a row and when you end up taking 11 of your last 15 series, I think that's a pretty good squad. I think that's a pretty good squad that's won 11 of their past 15 series. Just saying. Appreciate the gifts, by the way, my guy. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're talking about outfielders. We don't have room for another outfielder. Look, I've said this so many times. You'll make room for good offense if the Rangers really do want to acquire offense. You make room. I don't think there's any other way to put it. The Rangers could use another bat, and I think it should be in the form of an outfielder. Let's not be prisoners of the moment. This was a great day. I still say you put your foot on the gas and you go acquire more offense. I think that's the worst thing you could do is be a prisoner of the moment. We've won 6 in a row. We beat the A's. We beat the Braves. Don't add anything. I think that would be the worst mentality the front office can have. If anything, what you say is, we just saw this team pull it together and win 6 straight, 2 sweeps in a row. We need to put all our chips in and get this team to the playoffs 100% and put this team in a position to make a deep run. I don't think by any means you sit back and say, see, the offense is good. No worries. You don't need to make a deal. The offense is fine, bro. We don't need to send any prospects anywhere. No. I cannot stress this enough. Do not sit back and do nothing. You've had a good week. We all want to believe that every single hitter in this lineup is now back, is going to go on a hot streak, is going to go on a tear. We all want to believe that as fans. The reality is you need some insurance. You need some slump insurance. One thing, if you've watched this team all year long, you know that we have streaky hitters. You know that we have hitters that get hot and then go ice cold. We do not have hitters that stay hot for months on end. Corey Seager's one of them. I mean, I'll give it to Corey Seager. I trust him to stay hot for a month. There's not a lot of hitters in this lineup I trust to stay hot for a month. Or even really 2 weeks. You might get a good week out of some of these guys. I want slump insurance. Go and get a right-handed bat. You've got plenty of lefties. You don't need to add in another lefty into the mix. You've already got 4 lefty starters. It's plenty. You've got Corey Seager. You got Jock Peterson. You got Evan Carter. You got Josh Smith. You don't need to tip the scales and get another lefty. So anybody saying O'Hearn or any of these other left-handed bats on the market, I say no thank you. I want a right-handed bat. If you're going to go get an offensive piece, go get a right-handed bat. You need help against lefties anyways. You need a righty. The lefties out there, they're nice players. It's not that I don't like them. I just don't want 5 left-handed starters because then the lineup gets even worse when we actually face a lefty starter. Gets even worse. And I mean, to be fair, you look at some of the teams that you're going to have to play in October, lefties are there, right? Think about it. Houston, if they stick around in the playoffs, and I think they will, I think Houston will probably make the playoffs in some way, shape, or form. You got to run into Valdez, lefty. Detroit, Skubal. You got to run into Skubal. And then when you think about other teams as well, the Yankees, you got to run into Rodon. who we saw in the Bronx when we played there in May, you've got all these playoff teams in the AL with legit lefty starters. I want insurance. I do not want to sit back. Well, they had a great week here. They had a great 3 series in a row offensively. I mean, look, I think we kind of talked about it. The A series, when you really look back at that A series, was the offense cooking? I don't know. I mean, the offense had their moments in the A series, but I just say you got to go out and you got to get a little insurance for some of the guys that are prone to slumps, some of the guys that are prone to have a bad week or two at the worst possible times. That's me. That's me. Too concerned with bats. Pitching wins in the postseason. Texas definitely needs more of that. Yeah, I agree to disagree. That the reason why the Rangers are in the spot that they are right now and not locked into a playoff spot is offense. Pitching has been great. Like, you need to go get a relief pitcher too. We've said that multiple times on the show. To be really, really unconcerned about bats, though, in October, I think this argument is kind of funny in and of itself. You know, you say, hey, you're too concerned with the bats, pitching wins. Okay, great. What do you think all the other playoff teams have? Pitching. What do you do to combat good pitching? You have good hitters. I think that's kind of a weird circular argument. Pitching matters in October. Don't focus on the bats. What's the only way you're going to beat good pitching in October? I mean, is it getting good pitching that doesn't ever face one-on-one directly the other pitching staff? Or is it a good bat? Is it a good offense? You definitely have good pitching that most often is a huge difference maker when it comes to October baseball. But to sit around and say, don't worry about the offense, weird comment. I mean, look, offense is going cold in October. Big reason why teams go home early. All it takes is one cold series, your bat's getting dominated by good pitching, and you're done. You've got to go out and get a bat. Deadline is, yes, I believe, let's see, tomorrow's 28th. No, it's Wednesday, isn't it? I thought it was Wednesday. I thought it was the 30th. I don't know. We keep going. Diaz from the Rays would definitely be nice. Pitching is king. I'm with you. Pitching's king. I just think the Rangers don't want to look back. You don't want to look back at the end of your season. Man, we sat around, didn't go get a bat at the deadline. And you know what? Our offense went cold against the Tigers. Our offense went cold against the Yankees. And they're in good pitching. That's what I don't want to look back and say. Now, I don't think you got to go all out. I don't think you go and get the best bat on the market. But I think you got to go get somebody. Got to go get somebody. But largely, yes, in October, Rangers, they've got the best 1-2 punch in baseball. You've got deGrom. You've got Evo. If Malley comes back throwing like he was throwing in the early months of the season, you've got a 3-headed monster right there. So now I say, yeah, get a bullpen piece, but go get a bat as well that kind of serves as a little bit of slump insurance, honestly. We've got some hitters on this team that are prone to them. Pastor, what's good, man? Langford, Carter, Garcia in the outfield, Young, Seager, Simeon, Smith, and Hyman in the infield. Additional bat would be great, but seriously, we're fine. I don't know. I mean, let's look at some of the guys that you've got in this mix. So I know we're all high on Langford today, but Wyatt Langford has not been good over the past 2 months. Wyatt Langford also has not performed in October, has never played October baseball. You just don't know. And my thing is, you can be high on all of those players that you just named after a win, and it's easy to do it. But you've got to look a little bit past today's win. Cody Freeman, by the way, just hit his second home run in Tacoma right now. Second home run of the day. You think that guy wants to make it back up to the bigs? Cody Freeman, 2 bombs on the day in Tacoma for Round Rock. Good for him. Look, Carter, absolutely, he's got some playoff pedigree, but Carter has not hit his stride yet. So, Pastor, I'm with you. You've got some good players there, but not necessarily all players that I trust to continue to perform at a high level the rest of the season. I say you absolutely hope for that, but you still take the proactive approach and you go get another bat. The worst thing you could do is look at these 2 sweeps and say to yourself, we're good. We don't need to do anything else. We're fine. No, go out and be proactive. Push the chips into the middle of the table and go acquire some pieces that can ensure success. Don't just hope that this is going to continue. Again, my biggest pet peeve, hope is not a deadline strategy. I sure hope that Wyatt Langford figures it out and continues to do exactly what he did today. I sure hope Evan Carter gets back to 2023 form. Hope is not a deadline strategy. You've got to go out and be proactive and really try and shore up some of the holes that you have on this team. So agree to disagree for anybody that's totally content at this point with the squad that we have. You got to go out and get other pieces that fortify the success that you believe your team is capable of. We keep going. Let's see. Hellman got option for Jock. Yes, I thought for sure it was going to be Rowdy, but no. Hellman gets the option. He gets sent back to Tacoma, or maybe he'll probably hang out. I bet they didn't make him go to Tacoma for one game. Round Rock's been in Tacoma this entire week, by the way. I think we talked about that. Round Rock had a 6-game series. 6-game series in Tacoma. So they're going to be heading back to Texas, I believe, after the game today. So I'm sure they probably just said, just take the day off, bro. Get to Round Rock by tomorrow. I don't think they made Michael Hellman go all the way up to Tacoma for this one. Keep rolling. Diaz, Seager, Simeon, Ward, Garcia. Look, I already love it. I don't know if they're going to get both those bats, but that sure would be nice, man. That sure would be nice. Hey, G Soto, what's good, man? Look, this is all I'm saying. I know some people hear the take that I just had and say, man, you're negative. You're complaining. Like, dude, come on, stop being pessimistic. Like, it's not. It's honestly just thinking about it from a front office perspective. For me, if I'm in the front office, I love what I've seen over the past week. I want to fortify the success that we're having and that we're capable of by getting a bat, by getting a big top-end reliever, and making sure that that's not the reason why we get knocked out in October or we get knocked out before we even get to the finish line. I don't want blown saves at the end of the year to be a reason why the Rangers don't make it into October. You've got Jacob deGrom and you've got Nate Eovaldi sitting right there, and you miss October by a game or two because you blew a few saves the last week of the season. Is anybody going to feel good about that? So for anybody that rightfully so is loving the bullpen right now, but is saying, we're good, we don't really need to add a bullpen piece. Come on, bro. If we lose 1 or 2 games the last week of the season because we blow a couple of saves late, nobody's going to feel good about that. What's everybody going to be saying? Should have gone and got a bullpen piece. If the bats go completely ice cold the last week of the season and you miss October by 1 or 2 games with Jacob deGrom and Nate Eovaldi just sitting right there, what's everybody going to be saying? Should have got a bat. Should have listened to Right on Rangers a little bit more. Like, that's what everybody is going to be saying. So, look, I get it. Some of us have got to take that eternal optimist, and you guys know I'm very optimistic about this club. But we cannot just sit back and say we're good. You have got to make sure that you maximize this window that you've got with Jacob deGrom, Nate Eovaldi in their primes, throw in Corey Seager, Marcus Semien. Those guys do not have that many elite years left. Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, both in their early 30s. You don't have forever elite Corey Seager, elite Marcus Semien. You don't have that forever. So there is my TED Talk for the day on the Rangers and their trade deadline acquisitions or potential. We keep going. Leiter needs to keep focusing after getting leads. It does seem like that. Like, I know they went up 3-0. Leiter gives up the run right away. Brian, my guy, thanks for hanging out again. Really appreciate you and your support of the show. I will say, I think that when you look at Leiter start collectively today, you say pretty dang good. Like, Jack Leiter, 7 Ks. You got a quality start. Yes, the walks are still a little too high. I think he had 3 today. We got to remember, dude's essentially a rookie. I know he had last year, but he was very up and down last year. He also was in the pen a little bit last year. This is really Jack's first year. Dude, you're in the rotation. You're in the rotation. and you need to start figuring it out. This is really the first year that they've had Jack do this, and so I'm still taking this year and Jack with a little bit of a grain of salt. I will say, I said at the beginning of the year, Jack's got to start showing you something, and I think he is. I think he's had some good starts over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I think that he's shown you enough to continue on and to continue to make him a part of your long-term plans. Maybe that sounds crazy, but Jack Leiter was drafted in 2021. We're in year 5 now of him being in the organization, and he was your number 2 overall pick. Bro has got to start showing you something, and I'm glad that he's doing it this year. Give me the updates on the Angels score if you can. Cade and Ninja Edits, give me the update in the chat. I'll keep checking it here and there. Angels are up 1-0. There we go. All right, what did I miss here? What I miss? I'm scrolling back up. I still don't trust Carter to hit lefties even somewhat consistently. We need a righty bat and a closer. Beautiful. That's all I'm saying. Go get a righty bat and go get a closer. Dang it. Come on, man. It ain't that complicated. Well, if we all can see it, I'm sure they can see it. Who do I think outfield for a righty bat? I'd love Taylor Ward if possible. I'd love Ward. I don't know if they're going to trade him in division. I would really like if Taylor Ward could just come with us up to Seattle, because we're going to LA and then we're going to Seattle next weekend. I'd love if Taylor Ward could just hop on the plane and come to Seattle with us. That would be outstanding. We'll play Taylor Ward Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe he can just trade dugouts for us on Tuesday. We can get him on Wednesday, warm him up with the Wednesday game, and then he hops on a flight with us and heads to Seattle to play the Mariners. That's the plan. Anyone else on the radar? I really liked Randall Grichuk. He got traded yesterday to the Royals. We talked about Yandy Diaz on the show last night. I think that would be kind of the prized possession there. Yandy Diaz would probably cost quite a bit, but you'd love to get a guy like Yandy Diaz. Now, that's an infield guy. Probably at that point, Yandy is a little bit more DH. We'll see what happens with Jock Peterson and Jake Berger. I just don't think, we talked about it on the show last night, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. Jock and Jake are 100% our starters the rest of the year. I think if Jock and Jake struggle down the stretch, you will probably see the Rangers get creative to fill those spots. I don't think that it's going to be eternal runway for Jock Peterson at the DH spot. I think they'll give Jock about 2 or 3 weeks, and if he's not hitting or doesn't look good at the end of the 2 or 3, they're going to start platooning him. They're going to start looking for only the best of the best matchups for Jock, and I think that they'll try and get some other guys in the mix. That's what I mean when I say slump insurance. Jake Berger still has not shown you a whole lot this year. He does have some homers, but we got to see more from Jake Berger. I mean, look, I love these guys. I really enjoy cheering for them. I know it comes off as me trolling, as me hating. I love Jake Berger. There's nobody that wants to see Jake Berger or Jock Peterson succeed more than I do. But let's be real. They just have not lived up to the expectations this year. And I think even they would tell you that. 1,000,000% they would tell you that. So I don't think that the Rangers are just sticking with those 2 guys thoughtlessly the rest of the year. I think they're going to see how each one of them plays after coming back from injury. And you're going to get maybe a 2 or 3 week little audition. And then after that, I think they are going to put guys in the lineup that give them the best chance to win. We keep going. Appreciate the gift, by the way. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate the good games. And it was a good game today. It was a good game. 4-0 Angels Trout bomb. Let's go. Let's go. Good stuff, man. Now, hopefully they don't get too hot. Hopefully they don't get too hot for the series coming up. But with deGrom on the mound, I ain't really worried about that. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie at all. Hey, appreciate the GOAT. Thank you so much. Y'all are awesome with the gifts. Look, again, yeah, the Angels, please beat up on the Mariners today. Look, I'm not too worried, though, with deGrom and Evo. I don't care how well the Angels play today. When you got to face deGrom the very next day, it really doesn't matter how well you played the day before. Really doesn't matter how well you were doing the day before. We keep going here. We keep rolling. Let's see. Trade Burger. That is a take. Like, I've heard like a couple of people on X, on Twitter.com, suggested, could you potentially trade Burger to the Rays in a Yandy Diaz trade? I don't know if they're ready to give up on Berg yet. Like, that's my only thing. I don't know if they're ready to give up on Jake Burger. Is that like a decent option, trading Burger to get Yandy Diaz? Yeah, I think it actually is. Yandy can play first base. I think that absolutely is an option. I don't think that they're saying, no, Jake Burger untouchable. I just don't know if that's the preference right now for the front office, to trade away a guy that you just went out and got in the offseason that's been hurt here and there. I think that they are probably going to give Jake Burger the rest of the season. And then maybe they make a decision in the offseason with Berg. And they're going to be doing that with a couple of different players. They're going to be doing it with Jonah Heim, who's in the last year of his rookie deal. They're going to be doing it with Adolis Garcia in the last year of his rookie deal. You are going to see the Rangers have to make some tough decisions in the offseason. The only thing I don't love about the Kenley package, because I think some people have said this before as well. By the way, my guy, thank you so much for the gifts. And this is a great comment as well. Good stuff right here. So I've heard a couple people talk about Ward and talk about also getting Kenley Jansen. My only thing with Kenley, clearly he's got the pedigree, one of the best closers of all time. Dude's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But we have so many guys right now that are low to mid 90s on the fastball. I just want to see us go get a guy that can flirt with triple digits. I've said that the last 3 or 4 nights. Like, I don't want a guy, and Kenley Jansen is one of these guys, low to mid 90s fastball. And look, if you're getting outs, I guess that would be the main rebuttal. Well, he gets outs. You know, it's hard for me to argue with that. I'm just saying, preference-wise, if you're asking me, hey, Austin, what is your preference? I would prefer to go get a guy that can touch 99 or 100. I think that would be very nice to have. The Rangers don't have a lot of guys in the bullpen that can touch triple digits. And with Josh Sborz and the news of Josh Sborz being at 92, 93, I mean, that was a guy that was high-octane upper 90s fastball before his injuries. So I hope that Josh Sborz was just kind of taking it easy. But seeing Josh Sborz at 92 the other night for Round Rock, it's just tough, y'all. Like, I just really feel like we got to go out and get a guy that can pump triple digits. Big road trip coming up for sure here. Big road trip. Angels and Mariners, and then the Yankees come to town after that. You got Angels, Mariners, Yankees. Like, these are 3 teams. Look, the Angels are definitely on the decline, but the Mariners and the Yankees, man, those are 2 massive series. And we're going to be right here bringing you live play-by-play commentary, post-game analysis for every one of those games. Mariners, Yankees. It is going to be 2 back-to-back amazing series. You figure you'll probably get deGrom for the Mariners series, and you'll probably get Evo for the Yankees series, which is especially juicy considering Evo pitched for the Yankees. He pitched for the Red Sox. That's always great. So it looks like we're going to have deGrom probably 2 times this week, and then we'll have Evo 1 time this week, 1 time probably against the Yankees. Shawnuel, lucky bloop double. Hey, we'll take it. We'll take whatever we can get with the Angels beating up on the Mariners. Ward struck out. That's unfortunate. Oh, Josh, you're back, man. You came back. I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate you coming back and hanging out. I mean, like I said, y'all, everybody's welcome. The back and forth's healthy. I like the back and forth always, as long as it's not getting too personal. A win is a win. Absolutely. Caleb, we are very close to leading the division right now. All right, let me go ahead and let me lock in here on this game. I want to kind of put this game today to bed a little bit before we start looking at the deGrom start tomorrow. deGrom Day on a Monday. You love that. deGrom Day on a Monday out in L.A. Beautiful. Hey, Josh Smith, let's talk a little Smitty. Smitty was not looking good coming into this game. In fact, I intimated on the show yesterday Do we need to think about Josh Smith potentially getting dropped in this order? Not benched, but do we want to have Josh Smith continuing to hit leadoff? He said, yeah, you do. You do want me hitting leadoff because I'm about to go 3 for 4 with a bomb to close out this sweep. Josh Smith, 3 for 4 on the day. Look, he was 0 for 8, 0 for his last 8 coming into today's game. And before that, it was not looking super pretty either. He was hitting under 200 in his last 15 games. But Smitty comes out, makes a statement, on base 4 times. Beautiful to see from Josh Smith. If he can continue to do things like this from the leadoff spot, it's such a game changer for this Rangers lineup. Corey Seager on base twice, extends the on-base streak to 26 games, I believe. And look, Seager has been phenomenal coming out of the break. Let's keep going. Simeon, 0 for 5, doesn't quite follow up the incredible performance from yesterday. We'll cut him a little bit of slack after getting nailed in the face and winning the game in the 10th inning in yesterday's game. But Simeon 0 for 5. Haggerty would come in and would play second base to end the game. Garcia, 1 for 2 with 2 walks. You love seeing that from Dolly. If Adolis Garcia is taking walks, bro is a totally different animal, totally different beast when he's in the box. If Dolly is going to sit up there and take walks, my guy gets that much more dangerous. So 1 for 2, 2 walks, no RBI on the day, but Dolly looked great. Peterson 0 for 4. We talked about Jack. You would have loved for the guy to come up big with the bases loaded in his first at bat back with the club. I think you can definitely chalk this one up to first game back, jitters, rust, whatever you want to say, insert excuse. As the week goes on, I do think you are going to find out if Jock is back or not. Look, he's going to go out to LA. Hopefully he can run into some decent pitching there, and then you're going to go out to Seattle. But if you're going to hit Jock 5th in this lineup, you need to have him producing. I'll give him a game. I'll give him a couple of games, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of patience for Jock Peterson at this point among Rangers Nation. I think the coaching staff will have more patience with him than we will, but I don't think a lot of people are going to love watching Jock go 0 for 10, 0 for 14 to start off after coming back from the IL. Appreciate the gifts, by the way, Francisco. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Look, Jock, I want to see him do well. There's nobody that wants to see him do well more than I do, but I just don't think he can get as long of a runway. And I know you guys are concerned about it as well. We keep rolling. Langford, 2 for 4. Rough day for Wyatt. He was 0 for 4 with 2 Ks yesterday. Wyatt goes 2 for 3 with 3 RBI. Beautiful gap shot to put the Rangers up 3-0 in the first. That might have been devastating. You don't know how this game goes if Wyatt doesn't come through there with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the first. That would not have been an ideal way to start out the game. Wyatt comes up huge, nearly missed a grand slam. And look, he also had a walk on the day as well, on base 3 times. If Wyatt, that's another guy. If Wyatt's taking walks and not just free swinging up there, that's when he starts getting even more dangerous. Good to see a game like this from Wyatt. Evan Carter, 0 for 3, 1 run scored. I believe he reached on like a fielder's choice or something like that. No walks on the day either. Evan still struggling to find it a little bit. I want to look at Evan's numbers. I haven't looked at this in a little while. We looked at a lot of numbers last night. Where's Evan at? Yeah, it's about as bad as I thought. Evan, his last 7 games, 111 average. And then you've got a 182 average over his last 15 games. So, look, not super ideal. Not super ideal. Evan is one of those guys, if he is on, it just levels up this offense so much. Right now, bro is sitting at a 606 OPS over his last 15 games. Oh, he got hit by a pitch. Aaron, thank you. Thank you. It all blends together at some point. Aaron, I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much. If the Mariners lose, who has the tiebreaker? That's a good question. Wouldn't it be Seattle, though? Because I think they've beaten us quite a few times this year. I think we won 1 out of 3. And then did we win 1 out of 3 when we went up to Seattle the last time? I'm pretty sure Seattle has won more games against us this year. I'm pretty sure. So we'll see what ends up happening, but I do think that Seattle owns the tiebreaker at this point. Seattle does always play us well, Josh. I'm with you on that. I've often said, and look, I'm not trying to make a poor prediction or be ominous or pessimistic, but I will say this. The Northwest part of this country has been a house of horrors for the Texas Rangers for a number of years now, for really as long as I can remember following the club. Whenever we go up to the Northwest, Seattle, Oakland, well, now Sacramento, right? Whenever we've gone up there, it just doesn't feel like we ever dominate. Maybe we, split a series. Maybe we barely win 2 out of 3, but it doesn't feel like we ever go up there and really truly dominate. I would love for them to totally buck that trend this weekend. Look, LA has not been a huge issue, but it's when we go up there in the Northwest, man. Seattle, Sacramento, Oakland, all those towns, San Francisco, throw that one in there, especially going back to that nightmare of a 2010 World Series. It just never feels great when we go up to that Northwest part of the country. So I'm hoping that when they get to Seattle, something clicks and they turn it on and just keep on doing exactly what they're doing right now. But I got to be honest, I'm a little nervous for that Seattle series. The other thing that I think about, you're only going to have deGrom for Sunday's game probably. I don't think Evo's going to pitch in that Seattle series. So you're counting on Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter in that Seattle series. That's tough. Nothing against Jack Leiter or Kumar Rocker, but Seattle this coming weekend, it's going to be tough. You're relying on rookies basically to help win you that series. We'll see what happens. Maybe that'll be post-trade deadline, right? So maybe the Rangers will have a little bit of a different feel going up to Seattle. That'd be great. Remind me of the Tyler Mahle news. I think what I'm hearing is 2nd or 3rd week in August, if I'm not mistaken. 2nd or 3rd week in August, I think, on Tyler Mahle. I think that's the plan. We'll see what ends up happening. I think that there's a lot that is going to have to take place in between. And we all know how crazy you can get with some of these pitching arm injuries. You're feeling great one day. Think about Cody Bradford, right? Cody Bradford was literally about to be back with the Rangers. And then suddenly he got sick. And then he woke up one day and his elbow was bugging him. It was like the weirdest thing. So my point is these pitching injuries, they're so fickle. They're so up and down. I hope that it's 2nd or 3rd week of August. I'm just not sure if that's going to happen. Not sure if that's going to happen. Maybe it'll be September. I don't think the Rangers are going to want to rush it. I think the Rangers are going to want to give him as much time as possible. I think Tyler Mahle has pitched well enough when healthy this year to say that's a guy that you want out there for game 3 of a 5-game or of a 7-game playoff set. You want him out there behind Evo and deGrom. So with the Rangers' good streak, good stretch of games right now, I think it's very, very obvious they're going to do whatever they need to do to have Mahle available for October. And that, I think, needs to be the goal. I know it would be nice to have him down the stretch run to make the playoffs. I think you can get into the playoffs without a healthy Tyler Mahle. But my question is, how deep can you go in the playoffs without that solid 3rd-game starter? You look at the potential Game 3 starters right now for Texas. It falls off quite a bit from Nathan Eovaldi and Jacob deGrom. I really, really would like to see Mahle be fully healthy, and I do not want to see them rush him back at all. I don't think Mahle's going to get moved, Dan, just because he's been hurt. I don't think anybody's going to want to take a flyer on Mahle being hurt. Yeah, maybe the risk is worth it, but I don't think any team is going to risk prospects to pick up Tyler Mahle. So, yeah, I think Mahle's going to be around for sure. We keep going. By the way, I'm with you on this, Josh. In the AL, there's really no team that I'm really super worried about. Clearly, the Astros are a good squad. Detroit is a good squad. The Yankees have some good players. There's nobody you think about and you're like, yeah, we can't beat them. They're totally unbeatable. And even in the NL, clearly the Dodgers are good, and you've got some other squads over there, the Brewers, the Cubs. I think the Rangers can match up well with any of those teams. When you've got deGrom and Evo 1-2, you're going to match up well with quite a few teams. By the way, wrapping up the game from today, we had Josh Young, 1 for 4, 2 RBI. So good to see the youngster, the Jungle Cat, coming out after a, week and a half stint down at AAA, just coming out firing on all cylinders. Defensively, the approach at the plate, the results have been there. Very, very happy for Josh Young, who's sitting right over my shoulder right here. Hey, you guys can see him right there. There you go. Look, I love Josh Young, Texas boy, San Antonio boy, Texas Tech alum. Man, it's great. It's great to see this guy doing well after really a terrible last couple of months. Round Rock, look, the results, the homers were there, was a little up and down with the results in Round Rock. He has come up with a vengeance, man. And Jonah Heim, rounding out the lineup here. Jonah Heim, 2 for 4 on the day. I told y'all, this man has one more chance to reinsert himself into the lineup, man. And I think he took advantage. If Jonah Heim would have totally soiled the bed and done terribly this series, I don't think he would have played very much with Higgy coming back to full health. I think Jonah Heim has inserted himself back into the conversation, getting to play at least every other day. And honestly, with his hot streak over the last few games, I think Bochy might continue to ride him into the Angels series. So we'll see what happens. I think they'll find a way to get Higgy back in the lineup as well. But Jonah Heim, I think, saved his season. I think he was destined to sit 7 out of 10 games if he would not have had this series that he had. Not winning the game yesterday, but look, being a big reason why the Rangers won yesterday. Heim doesn't get that clutch double in the 9th. The Simeon hit probably never happens, right? So Jonah, big part in the dub yesterday and a nice part in the win today, getting a couple of hits. I think he saved his playing time this season. I think Higgy was about to take it over. What do I think about Jock? I think Jock has got to figure it out shortly. The Rangers fans, I don't think are going to stand behind Jock Peterson forever. I'll support him as long as he is standing in the box, but I think there's a lot of Rangers fans out there that have a very short tolerance level for Jock Peterson struggling. I mean, you look at the box score, tells you all you need to know. Bro's hitting 127 with a 492 OPS. That's not good. So Jock needs to figure it out. I think you got to give him the Angels series. If we are back here next Sunday and Jock has had a terrible 8 games or 7 games, I think it might be time to start thinking about alternatives. I think the Rangers will probably hang with him for the next 2 or 3 weeks if I had to guess. But personally, if Bro is still struggling after 2 weeks coming off this injury, I think you got to start thinking about giving his DH spot to somebody else, at least on a part-time basis. Appreciate the follow, by the way. Thank you so much, Commander Thorne. Bats are finally here, Brandon. I'm with you. When do I think the Rangers will make a trade? Anytime now, really. They might wait until like the 29th or the 30th. Sometimes that's when the best deals get done. So I don't think anybody needs to hit panic. Really, it wouldn't shock me at all if the Rangers wait until Tuesday or even Wednesday to start making deals. Appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Hey, if you're watching right now, you haven't followed yet, hit that follow button, right? This is what we do after pretty much every game. Obviously, you see the team that I got in the background here. You see the team on my bill, my hat. You definitely are going to get more Rangers than anything else. But we talk baseball here. We talk the other team. We talk teams in the AL, in the division. We do a little bit of everything here on the show. It's a good time. Come hang out. Appreciate the follows, by the way. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, look, Jock Peterson, I want him to figure it out. If he can figure it out, this lineup is going to get even more deadly. By the way, I did see a comment about Jonah Heim. Definitely, in my mind, Jonah Heim is the better catcher. I know that a lot has been made, and I don't want to get on my soapbox today about this, but I know a lot's been made about catcher ERA. If you're a longtime listener, you know the spiel that I'm about to give about catcher ERA. I'll give you the short version. I think catcher ERA is about the stupidest stat that you could look at to judge who's the better catcher behind the plate. A lot of people, even the Ranger Sports Network has brought up catcher ERA multiple times. I'm a little disappointed. It's not a nothing burger, but it's absolutely not the stat that you want to be championing who's the better catcher, the guy with the better catcher ERA. Dude, no. That doesn't take into account who's throwing, doesn't take into account balls and strikes called accurately behind the dish. It doesn't take into account who you're playing. So, for example, if Higgy is starting against all the dog water teams and Jonah Heim is catching against some of the better teams in baseball in a majority of his start, of course the catcher ERA is going to be worse with Jonah Heim. If Kyle Higashioka is catching a lot of Evo and deGrom starts, of course he's going to have a better catcher ERA. So for me, catcher ERA, totally the worst stat to judge who the better catcher is. Look at framing, look at balls that have been blocked well. Both of those stats you can track on Baseball Savant. I personally agree. Jonah Heim is the better defensive catcher. Higgy's good at framing, but blocking, saving, wild pitches, not his forte. I like Jonah Heim better back there behind the dish. He didn't win a Gold Glove for no reason. He didn't magically forget how to play good defense. I know that the numbers have been down a little bit, Jonah Heim throwing out runners. You look at the 2023 highlights for Jonah Heim, bro could throw out a base runner. And then 24, 25, it feels like it fell off a cliff a little bit. I know he's thrown out a few runners of late, but I think Higgy is even worse than Jonah is with the pop time. So Higgy, basically the only thing you're getting really well from Higgy behind the dish is framing. He's a little bit of a better framer than Heim, according to Baseball Savant. Heim is better in almost every other area of catching beyond framing. And I would submit to you that framing is important, but framing is not everything, and it's not the most valuable stat when it comes to catching. I think that there are other valuable stats: controlling the base running game, obviously blocking pitches, saving pass balls, saving wild pitches. I think framing's important, but I would rather have a guy that is well-rounded. Jonah Heim ain't that far behind Kyle Higashioka's framing ability. In fact, Jonah Heim has been revered multiple times in his career for his framing. So Kyle Higashioka might be a little bit of a better framer, according to Baseball Savant. Jonah Heim ain't that far behind, but he is far ahead in the other areas of catching that you'd really like your catcher to be doing well in. So for me, I think Jonah Heim, if he can figure it out offensively, I'd rather have Heim behind the dish. I don't dislike Kyle Higashioka. I know among Rangers fans that the two have kind of been pitted against each other. I did not realize there are some people that just really do not like Jonah Heim. I don't understand it. I think Jonah has had his frustrating moments at times over his Rangers career. Bro is an all-star game starter and won a Gold Glove, and it was not a fluke. The dude can play baseball. He's had a couple of really bad stretches over the past 2 years. If he can figure it out, that infinitely takes you to a higher place than I think where you can go with Kyle Higashioka. I hope Higgy continues his hot hitting. I hope that Higgy continues to be a force in our lineup. He's been hitting really well over the past 2 or 3 weeks. This is not a Higgy hate session by any means. It's not. I know it might come off that way. I love Kyle Higashioka, but Jonah Heim is the better defensive catcher. And if Heim can give you good offense as well, that's who you want behind the dish. All right. Sermon over on Jonah Heim. And that rounds out the box score for the day. Yeah, he is struggling this year on offense, but look, coming through a little bit over the past, few games was huge, I think, for his psyche. I hope it continues on. I really do. I'm glad Young rose to the challenge as well. Could have totally pouted. That's what I told y'all about Cole Winn. When I saw Cole Winn in Vegas with the Round Rock Express, my son, my daughter, and I were out by the bullpen watching the Round Rock guys warm up. Robbie Alstrom was warming up. Cole Winn was right there next to him, had the clipboard in hand. Dude was locked in and focused. Like, you see some guys go down to AAA and they freaking pout, man. They have a bad attitude. They don't give their best. They're not a good teammate. And then you had Cole Winn with the clipboard, helping guys warm up, talking through scouting reports with them. Dude was invested, even though he probably knew, and I don't deserve to be down here. I got like a sub-2 ERA in the majors, man. I don't deserve to be down here. Bro could have had that attitude, but instead he did the right thing. He was locked in, was a good teammate, gave his all when he was down there at AAA, and now he's back up at the major league level, doing pretty well. Glad to see Josh Young did the same thing. I got to admit, I saw the same thing out of Josh Young. Bro was not pouting. I watched, you could see pretty much into the entire Round Rock dugout when I was at the game. Dude was locked in, focused, paying attention, checking out the iPad a couple of times. It was great. I thought both those guys, after getting demoted, went down to Round Rock, and instead of pouting, they refocused, they reinvested, and now look at them. It's great to see. Really is. All right, let me keep rolling here. What do we got? Sorry, got to do the little verification thing on TikTok. We do need another bat. I am with you on that, Dan. I think we do need another bat. Marcell Ozuna, you guys know I've cooled a little bit on Ozuna. The hip injury, his play has fallen off. We read the stats out loud. Over the last 2 weeks, Ozuna is hitting under 200. I don't know that you want to go out and get Marcell Ozuna. We've got a lot of guys hitting under 200 over the last 2 weeks. I mean, look, not a lot. We've got some guys that have picked it up, but look, Josh Smith was hitting under 200 his last 2 weeks. Wyatt Langford still hitting under 200 his last 2 weeks. We've got a lot of hitters under the Mendoza line over the last 2 weeks. I don't want to add another one, so I'm a little bit out on Ozuna. Walcott, I would add in probably Teodo. I would not want to part with Teodo. I'm pretty high on him, although I know he's been a little up and down this year. There's not a lot of other untouchables, I don't think, for Texas. Rohan, appreciate it, man. I know you had a rough weekend, my guy. I appreciate you tuning into the show. Look, the A's have given the Rangers plenty of fits over the past however many years. So look, obviously the Rangers are happy to see the A's sweep the Astros, but look, we've had our share of problems with the A's, 100%. Hey, Hard Chuck, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Good to see you, my guy. Yes, Zane, deGrom Day tomorrow. Colin, my man. Colin on TikTok says he just watched the Travis Jankowski catch. Again, instant mood booster. If you need a little boost in your day, you've been feeling a little down, maybe a little sluggish, it's just not a good day for you, go watch Travis Jankowski's game-saving catch against the Chicago White Sox. Let me see if I can get the date. If somebody can verify this, I'm going to be so proud of myself. Was it August 24th, 2024? August 24th, 2024. If anybody can look up the date on this Travis Jankowski catch for me, I want to test my baseball knowledge right now. August 24th, 2024. That's what I'm calling on the date for the Jankowski catch. Mountain Man, appreciate the gifts, my guy. Thank you so much. Favorite Rangers logo is this one. This one right here. This is my favorite Rangers logo. Somebody on TikTok asked, what was my favorite? Definitely this one. Why? I love the state of Texas. I like the lettering, like the cursive lettering. I like the baseball. I love the state of Texas, though, in it. That's why I like this hat a lot, too. I love the logos that have the state of Texas on it. Grew up in Texas, Texas boy. So I absolutely thoroughly enjoy any logo we come out with that represents the state well. Thank you so much again, man, for the gifts. Do I still think we need new catchers? Yeah, I do think we need to think about it, Hard Chuck. I think Jonah Heim's contract is going to be an interesting one, and I don't want to be prisoner of the moment. But yes, Hard Chuck, in the offseason, I do think the Rangers need to do a legitimate, introspective, soul-searching discussion, conversation, whatever, powwow about catchers. Do we want to stick with Jonah Heim long-term? Do we want to go a different direction? Jonah Heim is going to be in the last year of his contract before he becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2027. I just say to myself, are the Rangers sure? If you're sure, then you need to extend Jonah Heim. But I think the Rangers need to do a serious discussion. Do we want to go get JT Realmuto? JT Realmuto is a free agent. Very good catcher. Very good offensive catcher. Do we want to reset the catcher position? If the answer is no, then you need to extend Jonah Heim. There's no reason to make Jonah Heim go to free agency. Think about it in the offseason. You got to do the same thing with the Adolis, and then you make a decision one way or the other. Look, Jonah Heim's had a nice weekend, and I appreciate this comment, by the way. The comment was Jonah Heim needs to go. I'm sorry. I think there's definitely a legitimate argument there that the Rangers should move on from Jonah Heim. I think you got to see how the rest of the year plays out. But the Rangers do have a little bit of a crossroads here. Do you want to stick with Heim? Do you want to do a reset? Higgy is not your 140 plus game starter. I don't think you want Jonah Heim, Kyle Higashioka going 140 plus behind the dish. So I think Higgy can be nice as a platoon guy. I don't want Higgy being my 130, 140 plus game starter behind the plate. So I think you're either going with Heim or you're going out and getting a catcher that you can sign multi-year until Malcolm Moore is ready, assuming they're going to keep Malcolm Moore. I mean, look, it's not a foregone conclusion that they trade Malcolm Moore to somebody else, but if you are going to keep Malcolm Moore and that's the plan, he's probably not going to be ready for 2 or 3 more years. Go get you a catcher on a 3-year deal. That will line up well, I think, with Malcolm Moore's timeline. Jankowski catch was 8:28. Man, I was so close. I said August 24th, the Jankowski catch was 8:28. Man, I was close. Sean Murphy would be a nice option, but I do think that it's going to cost a little bit too much. Dan, I'm kind of with you on this one. I think they would have to give up a little bit more than what they really want to for Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy's controllable for multiple seasons. I think it's just a little bit too much. Cooper Johnson's been having a really good last couple of weeks. If you don't know Cooper Johnson, we're talking about the Round Rock Express starting catcher. I got to see Cooper in Vegas, and I know I'm totally milking this for all it's worth, so you're going to have to get tired of me hearing it, I guess. But you're going to have to get tired of me saying it, I guess. But it was so fun to see some of these guys in person. I don't live in Texas. I live in Las Vegas, so anytime Round Rock comes to town, I love getting to watch these guys. So Cooper Johnson, I'm going to see if I can pull up the stats for you right now, just because I know not all of us are up on the minor league guys, and I think it's cool to shout out some of these guys. So Cooper Johnson, 27 years old. We picked him up after the Tigers let him go, I believe. He was drafted in 2019 in the 6th round by the Tigers, went to Ole Miss, so he's an SEC guy. And this year, he is 754 for the OPS. And then when you look at his last, let's go month of July games. Let's go month of July here. In the month of July, bro has got a 900 plus OPS. Bro has a 900 plus OPS in the month of July. We're talking about Cooper Johnson, the catcher for the Round Rock Express, starting catcher. To be specific, I'm going to do some fast math here for you. Looks like a 924 OPS in the month of July for Cooper Johnson. Hang on one sec, TikTok. Okay. I know I froze up. Eric Fetty was acquired by the Atlanta Braves. Fetty was pitching for the Cardinals. He pitched for the White Sox before that. Was actually pretty solid for the Cardinals, but I think he has like a 5+ ERA this year. Anyways, the Braves worked out a trade with the Cardinals. Are we back? Yeah, I think you can say we're back. Cody Freeman just hit another home run. Cody Freeman just hit his 3rd home run of the game in Tacoma. Does that dude want to get back to the major leagues or what? Cody Freeman just hit his 3rd bomb of the day up in Tacoma for Round Rock. Bro wants to get back to Arlington tonight. Can we just get Cody Freeman on a flight to LA? He doesn't need to come back to Texas. Just send Cody Freeman back to LA, please. Cody Freeman just hit his 3rd bomb of the day. I am appalled in the best of ways. Oh, my goodness. Man, dude took that demotion personally. He took that demotion personally, y'all. So happy for that guy, man. I was bummed that he got demoted. I kind of understood it, even though we talked about it on the show. Was not a fan of Freeman getting demoted and Ezekiel Duran staying on the team. I like Zeke. I think he's a good dude, but I just don't understand. Some people I know said defense, first base, yada, yada, whatever. Make Cody Freeman play first base if it's really that big of a deal. But seriously, Cody Freeman needs to get back to the big league club as soon as possible, man. Cody Freeman can catch. That is true. He was the backup catcher the other day. That is true. Cody Freeman's played second, third, and he's caught in the minor leagues. Dude's versatile. I said it on the show, and I think a couple of y'all did too. I think he's going to be a right-handed Josh Smith. I think Cody Freeman is a right-handed Josh Smith. You've got versatility. You've got a little pop. You've got a little speed. You've got savviness on the base pass. I love it. Love it. Yeah, look, the Fetty move, I'm not really sure. Not really sure the Fetty move, what that's all about. I think that Braves are just pulling at straws right now for pitching depth. I really do. Bochy will probably see how this season plays out, but they already have their predecessor. We'll skip Schumacher, right? I think he's probably going to be the guy that steps in. We keep going. Dump Jock and Round Rock, bring Freeman back up. John, I knew that was going to be coming, man. Good to see you, my guy. Look, that's what I'm saying. If Jock Peterson or Jake Berger struggle, I don't think there's going to be a lot of rope for those guys. I think they are going to get very limited slack for having a 2-3 week bad stretch. I don't think they're going to let these guys just hit forever like they were in April and May. I think they're going to have a pretty short leash. Closer definitely needed. What will we have to give up to get Bednar? Probably not a ton, honestly. Appreciate the comment, by the way, because Bednar is a half-season rental. So if you got a half-season rental, I just really don't think you're going to have to give up a top 15 guy. I think you could probably give up maybe a guy 20 to 25 on your prospect list. I don't think you're going to have to give up anything too special for Bednar. Maybe you give up one of the quad A guys. When I say quad A, I mean like Foscue, Duran, guys like that. I don't know. We keep going. Let's see. If the Rays get swept, they are sellers. Dan, I got to go with yeah. I think if they do, you're probably going to see sell for sure. By the way, rounding it out for the pitching today, Leiter, quality start, 7 Ks, 3 walks. He pitched outstanding. I think you got to give him a lot of credit. You'd love for him to bring that walk total down, but Leiter now 7-6 on the year. Bosley, nice bounce back outing from him, and Cole Winn strikes out the side. Cole Winn, look, I don't think he's going to be a closer. In fact, I wonder if the Rangers actually maybe try and turn him into a starter at some point. I don't think a lot of these guys, when they get drafted, you do not just straight up turn them into relievers out the gate. Cole Winn is a first-round pick, man. You don't draft a first-round pick to make them a bullpen piece in perpetuity. So I have a feeling if Cole Winn keeps doing well, they might try and turn him actually into a starting pitcher. We'll see what they decide to do. In the minor leagues, Cole Winn has started 80 games. Cole Winn has started 80 games in the minor leagues. That's 3 years almost worth of starts. So the guy has been a starting pitcher. It's only really the last 2 years that they haven't had him be a starter. I think they may try and move him back into a starting pitching role at some point. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's what I mean, McJowers, thank you. I think he's got a good enough repertoire where Cole Winn could be in the starting rotation. I think he's got a good enough repertoire. Bro is a first-round draft pick. You can't tell me Cole Winn doesn't have that pedigree to be a starting pitcher in this league. Clearly, the Rangers saw it. You're not wasting a first-round pick on a relief pitcher. Cole Winn, by the way, out of Orange Lutheran, California boy. Been in the organization for a long time, right? He was drafted back in 2018. This is year 7 in the organization. By the way, Colorado is where he grew up, and then later family moved out to Orange, obviously. Maybe that was a little baseball related. I would love to ask Cole, by the way, what the story was with that. Orange Lutheran, though, really good school, really big school. Turned out a couple of major leaguers. I think Garrett Cole is from Orange Lutheran as well. There you go, man. Cole Winn, though, to see him do well next year, that would be fun if they turn him into a starter at some point. Let's keep going. Fairbanks, former Ranger. There you go. Would I trade Latz? I don't think I would trade Latz. I think he's got a little bit too much at this point, just quality outing stacked up. You'd really have to be getting something back in return for Latz that you absolutely love. I think Latz has shown you too much potential, man. You really don't want to just toss him away for a half-season rental or a guy with 1 year of control. If you're trading Jacob Latz, you're going to get somebody really special. Let's keep going. Get Fairbanks and Diaz. Now, that would be a good deal where you get a relief pitcher and you get a bat. You get Fairbanks, former Ranger, and you get Diaz, Yandy Diaz, of course, who we've been talking about. Yeah, I don't think, John, I agree. I don't think they're going to be trading him. He's too versatile, too controllable. You can use him out of the pen. You can use him in the starting rotation. I just don't see it happening unless you've really got somebody special coming your way in return. Keep going. Let me see what I got on TikTok. Trade Burger for Yandy. Hardchuck, I've seen that a lot. I think it could potentially still happen, but I just don't know if the organization is ready to give up on Burger yet. No, Apple user, I don't see Kumar or Leiter getting traded. Again, that's like one of those, you're getting Shohei Ohtani. You're getting Juan Soto. If you trade Kumar or Jack, I mean, basically two of your top prospects. I know they're not technically considered prospects anymore. If you're trading Kumar or Jack, you better be getting back somebody really, really special that is super controllable for a long time. Because Kumar and Jack might turn into the next best pitcher. And you do not want to trade that away for a guy that has a year and a half left on the contract. Yeah, look, we keep going here. Jack, I'm with you. I don't think the organization is going to give up on Burger or Peterson yet. I do think in the offseason they're going to have some talks. I don't know how you wouldn't have talks in the offseason. Are we good with Burger? Are we good with Jock Peterson? I think that they are going to have a serious talk, but I don't see them bailing on those guys midseason. Keep going. Better come up with more than that for Soto. Look, clearly Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter for Soto is not going to fly, but the point is, if you are trading those guys, they better be a part of that package, and you're going to have to give more, obviously, some major league guys, some minor league guys, but unless we're trading for somebody like Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker, they don't need to be going anywhere. Hardchuck, I don't know if I'm ready to say he's getting back to hot, but it was a nice game today. I think Wyatt's had a couple of nice hits in the past 3 games, but the numbers still aren't great. So I don't know if I'm ready to declare he's hot or he's back, but I definitely am encouraged by what he did today, 100%. DFA on Rowdy Apple, I'm going to say probably at some point in the next couple of weeks when Spores comes back, when Malley comes back. I don't think you're going to see Rowdy surviving that. All right, we keep going. Let's see. Burger, Foscue, Harris. Maybe you cough up Mark Church for Diaz and Fairbanks. It just depends, Dan, on what they want. Like some organizations want prospects. They don't want guys that have bounced around between majors and minors. So we'll see. Kind of depends on what they want. All right. Hellman DFA sucks. Did they DFA him? I thought they just demoted him. They DFA'd him? Or did they just option him to AAA? I don't know. I'm with you, Apple user. Walcott, absolutely an untouchable to me, but everybody else I'm probably okay with. I mean, there's a lot of great dudes in the organization. I hate talking about getting rid of them because I follow a lot of the minor league guys. Not every single one, but quite a few of them at all levels. And I don't love talking about those guys leaving, but it's a part of the business. It's part of it. You got to talk about it. But I think Walcott's probably your only untouchable. Walcott's ranked 4th on the pipeline. Yeah, exactly. Unless you're getting major league talent, you don't want to trade Corbin. I think if you could get a right-handed bat for Corbin, I think you'd do that. No reason to trade. I mean, maybe if you could get a bullpen piece for Corbin, but no team that has a bullpen piece is going to want Patrick Corbin. The only people that are going to want Patrick Corbin are contenders. And I think I said that maybe about a month ago. You could trade Patrick Corbin to an NL contender, but you're not going to be trading Patrick Corbin to one of these teams that isn't making the playoffs. They're not going to want an expiring contract. Like maybe Patrick Corbin as a throw-in, but I think Patrick Corbin, we could potentially still trade him to a team in the NL that has a chance or is firmly entrenched in the playoff race. But I don't think anybody who is having a losing season is going to want to pick up Pat Corbin. Walcott and Rocker for Ohtani. Now we're talking. Look, I'd do that trade 100%. Walcott, I'm sorry. Pack the bags, buddy. You're going to L.A. Rancho Cucamonga or wherever I think that's the AA. Oklahoma City is the Dodgers AAA. Pack your bags and go to Oklahoma City, Walcott, if we're getting Ohtani. 100%. Colin, my boy. It's always a good time to watch the Travis Jankowski catch. I'm glad some people are catching on to that. Save it on your phone. Put it in the favorites. I'm dead serious. This is what I do on a bad day. I go to my favorites, go to my favorite album on the phone, pull up the Travis Jankowski video, and the day just gets instantly better. If the Rangers sweep the Angels and Ward has a home run in any of those games, do you see the Rangers go get him at the deadline? I sure hope so. I'd love to go get Taylor Ward. You guys know this. I would love to go get Taylor Ward. Absolutely. I think that is going to be something that CY considers. It's just going to be about the Angels. Do they want to trade in division or not? I would tend to think they might not want to do that. But with that being said, I think that you got to try. He is a prototype right-handed hitter that you really could use on a team that struggled against lefties and honestly does a lot of platooning with the lefty starters that they do have. Do not trade Teodo. He would maybe be one other guy that I would say would not want to trade. How do I think Young is batting since coming back from AAA? Raul, incredible. Incredible. I think Josh Young obviously put in some good work down at Round Rock, down at AAA, and he's come back with a vengeance. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Am I still wanting to use Young as a trade chip? If you can get a spectacular deal, I don't think Young is untouchable. We just kind of said that, right? Who's untouchable right now in trades? I don't think a lot of people are. If you can get Josh Young traded away for somebody really, really incredible, you do it. I don't think you hold on to Josh Young just on principle. I think you listen to just about anything. Obviously, you're not probably trading deGrom, Evo, Seager, Simeon. You're not going to be trading Walcott. There's a few guys in the organization that are untouchable. But, yeah, you're going to be listening to almost everybody. Now, clearly, with the way Josh Young is playing right now, yeah, I think you want to hang on to him and you'd like to see him continue to do well. But, yeah, if somebody wants Josh Young and wants to overpay for Josh Young, you're at least listening. Is it true the Dodgers are getting Skeens? I don't know. I don't think that that's going to happen this season, but maybe at some point. How many years does Rooker have? I think he's got 3 or 4, Colin. I think he's got a few. Keep going. Let's see. What did I miss? Going back in the YouTube chat. Trout is getting older. The youth movement for the Angels is on, and they got to move on from Ward. Well, I do think Ward hitting free agency in 27 is going to make a difference there for sure. I really do. All right. Let's see. We're at an hour and 23. We're doing pretty well. Let me go to the game for tomorrow, do a little preview. Hey, I want to say real quick, a special thank you to all of my paid members and subscribers on both TikTok and on YouTube. It's a $2.99 a month subscription. Gets you access to our exclusive Ride on Rangers Discord. Look, it all goes to help support me and support the content that I produce here at Ride on Rangers. If you've been watching for a while, you want to take your support to the next level, I'd appreciate you considering a subscription. It's been a great time so far. The Discord community has been fire. We've had so many good back and forths, a lot of good people in there. Would love you to be a part of it. If you're interested, on TikTok, bottom left corner right next to the chat, hit that subscribe button. Again, $2.99 a month gets you into our Ride on Rangers Discord, gets you priority replies and lives and in the videos that I post. And if you are on YouTube or if you're hanging out from X, not quite as easy, but you can copy and paste this link that I'm going to drop into the chat into a browser of choice. I appreciate you considering it. Again, the goal, the dream for me is to continue to build this channel, build this account into a legitimate voice in Texas Rangers baseball while we build a good community of Texas Rangers fans and baseball fans in general. I think we're on our way, but any way that you can support me and the show is much, much appreciated. But as I always say, we don't take any support for granted here, right on Rangers. Views, likes, shares, the follows, it's all gravy, and I love it. And I'm definitely not taking any of that for granted. So thank you guys for your support. We're getting closer to 10K on TikTok. I think we're just, I hope maybe over the course of the show, we went over 9K. We were really close to 9K. So we're getting ever closer to 10K on TikTok, man. Getting there. We started at 0 back in January 2023 for reference. So over a couple of years, we built up nearly 9,000 followers on TikTok. YouTube, I think we're getting close to 2K. I think Instagram, we're getting really close to 2K. So we're getting close to 15,000 followers across all platforms. It's great. And you guys are a big part of the success. So thank you so much. 50 away from 9K, hard chuck. There we go. Here we go. 50 away from 9K. We're getting pretty close. It's going to be fun counting it down to 10K, man. I'm pumped. All right. Let's do deGrom Day preview, and then we're going to head out. Let's see. 50 followers away. Yep, that's awesome. Thanks for everything you do, Brad. OG follower, OG subscriber right there. My boy Brad, very first guy that ever signed up for my subscription, taking the chance, man. And look, it's been a beautiful thing from there. So always going to be thankful for you, my friend. What are my feelings about the schedule? This is a brutal month coming up. You know, you've got a lot of playoff teams that you're facing. I think Toronto is at the end of the month. You got to play the Yankees. You got to play the Mariners. You got to play a number of good quality teams. You really do. So I do think that you have got a tough month of August coming up here. I think the Rangers can hang with anybody, though. So I am not going to get too down about the schedule. I think Texas can compete with anyone. We talking about the A sweep and the Astros? Yes, we have, and we have enjoyed every minute of it. Every minute of it, man. Absolutely. We keep on rolling. Thank you so much, guys. All the comments, man. I think we're caught up. Let me go to the preview. deGrom Day. Let's talk about it. So, July 28th, Monday. Rangers probably getting on a flight pretty soon here out to LA. And they will have Jacob deGrom on the mound for tomorrow's game. Going to be a little bit of a late night. The Angels like to play those night games. So we're going to be doing some late night right on Rangers Lives. Tomorrow it's going to be probably, 10:30, 10:45 Texas time. So y'all going to have to bust out the caffeine, the coffee, the soda, the Coke, whatever you need to do, man. Bust it out so you can be here for Right on Rangers Live. Super late night. It's going to be, I think, 3 nights in a row. Us starting the show at 10:45 or 11 Texas time. So, like I said, get the pot of coffee brewing. Come join us. It'll be great. deGrom versus the Angels. Adele 0 for 1. Campero 0 for 1. Kingery 1 for 7 with the home run. Neto 2 for 3. Got to watch out for Zach Neto. Dude rubs me the wrong way. I don't know about y'all. It rubs me a little bit the wrong way. Zach Neto 2 for 3 against deGrom, though. 0 for 2 is Newman, the third baseman. Rengifo 0 for 2. Shawnuel 0 for 3. Trout 2 for 3 with an RBI. Taylor Ward 0 for 5 against deGrom. And then Travis d'Arnaud 3 for 10 with 2 bombs. I guess Travis d'Arnaud, Ranger killer that he is the guy Jacob deGrom needs to look out for tomorrow. deGrom, by the way, 10-2 on the season, 2.28 ERA, 122 Ks. deGrom, let's just look at his last 7 games. 2.57 ERA in his last 7 starts. 12 earned runs in his last 7 starts. That is filthy. .86 whip in his last 7 outings. One of the best pitchers in baseball. This team is fun right now, Brandon. I'm 100% with you on that. This team is a lot of fun to watch right now. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let me check comments on YouTube a little bit more. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all of the back and forth. The Rangers, by the way, do not have any well, actually, they haven't even announced the starter yet. The Angels, I was like, load. Angels haven't announced the starter for tomorrow, so we can't preview the Rangers lineup, unfortunately. But look, with Jacob deGrom throwing, I ain't too worried. Do I think that Wyatt can still get to 25 homers, 25 stolen bases? Yes, but it's going to be close. I was really hoping 30-30 hard chuck. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think 25-25 still in the mix. Brandon, appreciate the follow, man. Since I started supporting the Rangers, this team doesn't stop winning. Hey, good. It's a great place to be. Some of us Rangers fans have had to go through a lot of lows to get to this point. Absolutely. Oh, shoot. It's been an up and down year in 2025. I'm glad that we are experiencing one of the peaks right now. One of the peaks. Hopefully more so to come. All right, one last look through the comments, and we are out of here. Let's look at the scores around the league real quick before I take off. Let's see. Angels are up 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th with a couple runners on, so that's looking pretty good. New York Mets versus San Francisco Giants tonight. That's Sunday Night Baseball. Every other score is now final. So we go to the standings. We check out the standings. Should be updated. We got the Rangers 4 games out of the AL West. Still a half game behind the Mariners right now. Mariners lose, and you will see the Rangers draw even for a playoff spot. I do believe Seattle holds the tiebreaker, but nevertheless, the Rangers will be tied for the last wild card spot. Beautiful thing to see. Beautiful. All right. Let's keep going. One last look. Young does look like his old self. Absolutely. What would I be willing to pay for Kurtz? You're going to have to give up some top prospects for that, dude. Probably in your top 10. Walcott, maybe not, but you might have to give up like a Malcolm Moore, a Dreiling. You might have to give up some guys in the top 10 if you want to get Nick Kurtz. 100%. All right. We keep things rolling. In his contract year, that changes things a little bit. But if you wanted Nick Kurtz right now, yeah, you're going to have to give up quite a bit. Team is unbeatable when Seager is mashing. Tony, it feels that way. It really does. Really does feel that way. Rangers were behind double-digit games just before the All-Star break. That is crazy. And Dan, fair play. Angels are a pesky team. I think you got your 2 best pitchers going up against them 2 out of the 3 games. You should at least win 2 out of 3. Hopefully, you win more than that, though. All right, let's keep going into tomorrow. We've got, again, a 6:38 start, 8:38 Texas time. We will be here after the game, maybe even 8th, 9th inning, going through, talking about everything that's gone on in-game, and then we'll give you the post-game analysis as well. So it's going to have to be a little bit of a late night for some of y'all out in Texas if you want to catch the show. But we'll be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think all those are late night games. Angels don't like to do those day games for whatever reason. So we got a bunch of night games coming up. It's going to be great. Maybe he's making his last start. I think that could be a possibility. We'll see what happens. All right. Hey, again, thank you, all my paid members and subscribers. Appreciate you guys, everybody that gave a gift today, everybody that commented today, everybody that followed today. A lot of thanks to go around. Really, really appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Probably have a video out to you at some point in the early afternoon. We're going to enjoy the rest of this Sunday night. Hopefully the Angels can close this one out. Mariners lose. Astros lose. Rangers win. It's a great day to be a Texas fan. Nay, an amazing day to be a Texas Rangers fan. We're going to take off. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.